and welcome. I'm Bonnie Bruder. I am an author, a life coach, a motivational speaker, and I'm the creator and founder of both The One Coaching and YourBestFriendCalled.com. So firstly, I wanted to acknowledge you for taking the time out of your busy life. I know a lot of you are moms, a lot of you are wives, people that have busy careers, a lot of demands, and I really want to acknowledge you for taking this time out and doing something that will be beneficial to you in your life. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about creating a relationship with yourself, and we're going to talk about some tools and strategies to identify what our dream life is and why we're not living it now, and how we can go out and immediately start moving towards the life that we desire. So first, a little bit about my background. I have created a company that specializes in coaching women ages 18 to 38 really to find clarity in their lives and to create abundance in all areas. And so what I do is I work with people in the idea of anything is possible. And I really have you identify what your dream life is, what you would do if you had a magic wand, and then we move towards that through the coaching to get you there as quickly as possible. I have truly had a lifelong passion for personal development. I have been in this industry for over 12 years, and I've had the unique honor and privilege with working with some of the greatest minds, in my opinion, in the world. I worked with Tony Robbins for almost 10 years. I traveled with him for 6 of those years as a coach and mentor, and literally coached thousands of people in 7 different countries around the world. I've also, for the last year, actually 2 years, run the Christopher Howard Training Company events, and they are one of the fastest growing NLP, hypnotherapy, and presentation skills companies on the planet. So with that, I really have a broad skill set. Additionally, I have a holistic health practitioner's degree, I teach yoga, 5 other certifications in addition to life coaching, NLP, and hypnotherapy. And so my work is really about creating a well-rounded, holistic view for you and your life. So what I want to talk to you about is a little story of what I used to do when I worked for Tony Robbins. But prior to working for him, I actually showed up at one of his events as a participant. And so what happened is a boyfriend had literally drugged me there. He said, "Come on, this is good for you. You're going through some challenges. You know, you need to set your goals." And I just thought, oh, brother, I would much rather go to the river, water ski all weekend with my friends. And that is for people like you. It's not for people like me. You're successful, you make a lot of money. I mean, I'm just a person. That's not my thing. And he really encouraged me to look at it a little bit differently and to embark on this weekend, which was a Firewalk seminar. So I reluctantly did, because I do also always have a ferocious curiosity that I've had my entire life. And prior to this, I had read hundreds of books on self-development and relationships and really how to get the most out of life. So I did have this kind of inner quest and this inner knowing that I was supposed to be on this path. So as we went through the seminar, the first day was spent for about 8 hours in a seminar learning how to overcome your fears and how to determine what's been holding you back in life. And at the end of the evening, we were setting out to walk across a 14-foot bed of hot coals, 1,200 to 2,000 degrees. Now let me tell you, this in itself was very terrifying, but I also had this competitive, want to do anything side to me. So wanting to prove this to the person I was with at the time really got me through that evening. But prior to doing the Firewalk, there was something that happened that was even more scary for me at that time. A couple of hours before we were set to do our walk at midnight, Tony had us write out on a piece of paper what our biggest fear was in life, what that one thing was that has been holding us back, that if we could overcome that and let it go, we would be able to accomplish anything. So I thought, and wow, there's so many fears, but what I realized is fear of rejection or fear of not being able to go after what you dream of and accomplish was what was holding me back. So I wrote that down on my piece of paper, and then I went out, and at this time there were 6-foot flames, just towering inferno of flames. And we stood there, and I just thought, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And in that moment, he said, what I want everyone to do is I want you to take that fear, crumple it up, and really make a commitment to this night when you walk across those coals to let that go forever. So I did that, and here's where the scary part came. Then he said, I want you to walk up to 3 perfect strangers, and I want you to tell them what your biggest fear in life was. I seriously felt myself panicking. My stomach was in knots. I couldn't breathe. I thought, I can't even verbalize this fear. I mean, it took everything inside of me just to write it down. And now you want me to walk up to perfect strangers, admit that this is my fear. Oh my God. So as I did, I was very timid at first. I couldn't really look the people in the eye, and I just said, hi, my name's Bonnie, and I have a fear of rejection and not going after what I want in life. And as I did that, 2 things happened. First of all, it became a little bit easier. As I was able to admit that, I was able to meet people and say, hi, my name is Bonnie, I have a fear of rejection. And people would start to play with you, they'd reject you, and you'd laugh a little bit. But the second lesson that I learned, and probably the most powerful, is that people were coming up to me, people that were beautiful, successful, twice my age. I could tell they were way more successful in life and in business than I was in that moment. And they had these fears that seemed really silly to me. You know, for example, someone might say, hi, my name is Bob, and I'm afraid of heights. And I thought, I'm not afraid of that, I just climbed Half Dome. You know, and what I learned in that moment was that if their fear seems silly to me, then my fear probably seems silly to them. So why not just let it go, once and for all? And I did. So I went back into that room with this feeling of wholeness and an inner knowing that I could truly accomplish anything that I desired in life. So at midnight, I went outside, I learned all the techniques to overcome your mind and to put yourself in a peak state to where you can absolutely accomplish anything you desire. And as the African drums were playing and the beautiful stars were in the sky, I crossed that bed of coals knowing that I would never, ever, ever let me hold that back again. So as a life coach, what I've noticed with so many people around the world is that anytime I sit down with somebody, whether it's a millionaire in Sydney, Australia, or someone that's poverty-stricken in Singapore, it doesn't matter. Every single person has fears that have held them back from where they want to go in life. And there's a really great saying about fear that I love and that I want to share with you today, and that is false evidence appearing real. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. Think about that for a moment. So many times our fears aren't even a real thing. Just as I learned that night at the fire walk, there were people that would never have the fear that I had. So why was I carrying this around? Why was I letting myself believe that there was evidence that I needed to have that fear? And when you can learn that and you can go out in your life and truly get over your fears, you can accomplish anything you desire. So today we're going to talk about a couple of techniques and a couple skills and strategies that you can take away from this video that you can start to use immediately in your life to attract in what it is that you desire. The first step, as you're going to guess, is obviously identifying and overcoming your fears. Now, you don't have to do a fire walk. You don't have to go to extreme measures. My belief is just by acknowledging what your fear is and what it's been holding you back from will allow you to move forward in your life and start going for what you really want to create and what you really want to draw in. So what I encourage you to do is take a piece of paper and at the top write my biggest fear. And then fill up that whole page with what that fear has been preventing you from achieving. And after you've done that, do something ceremonial. Rip it up, throw it off a cliff, whatever will make you feel that you are able to get through that fear once and for all. And after you've done that, I want you to ask yourself, what would I do with my life if I had a magic wand? If there was no parameters, no boundaries, anything was possible, what would I do? And be really specific with this. Write out on a piece of paper or in your journal, it really doesn't matter, what you would do in the area of your relationships, what you would do in the area of your health, your finances, your time management, and really with finite detail, write out all the things that you desire. And this is a green light list. Nothing is stopping you. I mean, any wish you've ever had, put it on there. And then once we've done that, I want you to take a look at those same